You have probably heard about law of attraction, and if you think about something or if you feel something, then you can manifest it in your physical reality. And you might have done the affirmation, visualizing, and still it feels like that thing never shows up. Like, what is going on? Why it's not here in the physical reality? You are not alone. I did it for 2 years in my life. So when I got to know about law of attraction, I was visualizing, affirming, doing all the things, and still it never showed up. Nothing in my bank account changed. And that's when I joined the strategy camp. I thought, if I find the right strategy, then it will start working. Maybe I need to start taking massive action while I'm practicing law of attraction. I just constantly looked for that perfect strategy that will eventually work. And that's the answer. And that's everything. 8 strategies later, I was nothing but experiencing burnout and wanting to quit. That's when I learned this skill, which made my law of attraction visions and affirmations and everything so unstoppable that I forgot that it didn't work for me. I manifested a 22-room mansion within 1 year of living in one-bedroom flat. I manifested $1 million partnership within 3 weeks. And where my corporate business is going right now, my consulting is going right now, is just insane. Landing $1 million contracts, clients, talking to the largest tech giants, agreeing the ways of working, agreeing the partnerships. It's just floodgates of results to the point that I cannot even count the results. Like, it is just too much. But this one skill made it all possible and opened the floodgates of wealth for me. And that skill is you. That skill is your self-image. That skill is how you see yourself right now, not when you manifest the thing that you want, but now. The biggest breakthrough for you is, who are you? And who are you and how you're showing up and what you're doing and how you're thinking and how you're feeling is controlled by your autopilot operating system, which is based on your identity, how you see yourself, your self-image, and it controls you 98% of the time. And it dictates how you think, how you feel, how you behave. So when you try to use your conscious force to think positive, to do the affirmation, to visualize, and constantly find yourself swinging between the vision and your current reality and constantly feeling like it's not working and you're trying so hard, you're being so hard on yourself, what you're fighting against is an autopilot program that is supposed to control you 98% of the time. And when I realized that, all I did was to shift my autopilot program so that it works on autopilot. There is a reason that it works on autopilot, and your life becomes so much easier. A lot of people try to think of the idea, force themselves to think how they can do it, how it can happen. They force the vision, they force the affirmations, they force the feeling, and they keep on fighting against this invisible thing that is controlling them all the time. This is science. This is not just philosophy or something woo-woo. This is how we work. So in order to change your self-image and make things on autopilot, you can use these steps, which can change your life like night and day, when you even stop counting the results because they come so fast that you can't even freaking count them. The first thing that you want to do to change your self-image is to understand what it is. You cannot change anything until you understand what it really is, which means you start to ask yourself, who am I? What do I think about myself? What do I think about myself in a certain profession, in my industry, in my field? What do I think about my ability to receive? What do I think of myself about my ability to deliver a world-class service or product? What do I think about my worthiness? What is my opinion about money? How do I see myself and money? And on a bonus tip, you can write a love letter to money. And I see a love letter, but it's a letter where you really share how you feel, good or bad. You go on a rant with money from beginning of times when you got to know money for the first time and how it has showed up in your life. And what you realize is that you uncover what your true relationship with money is, right? And the biggest thing is awareness. Awareness is the backbone of manifesting your desired life. Once you have that awareness, you do not want to just shift that on the mindset level, but you want to go in the body, because any idea that you hold over a period of time, it becomes a conscious program, then subconscious, and then unconscious, and then your body runs the show. When you wake up in the morning, You don't think, oh, what shall I do today? You get up, you go to the toilet, you brush your teeth, you have this thing, you drink your coffee. It's on an autopilot. A thing that you do live with or you operate with over a period of time, it becomes your identity. It lives in the body. That's why your income ceiling lives in the body. Whatever you have experienced with money, your good things, your bad experiences, lack, scarcity, abundance, whatever that is now stored in the body, and your mind may forget, but your body doesn't. So therefore, it's really important to first become aware of that at a conscious level, but then release them from your body. Think of all the negative ideas that you uncover, say it out loud and see how you feel it, like what sensation comes in the body. Really be present in your body. You have not connected with your body for a period of time, so it may not trust you yet, or it may not be as clear. So you want to really be present with your body and find the sensation. So when you're saying there is not enough money, or I feel lack, or I feel I'm not good enough, or I feel I cannot not do this well, or something happened in the past that is controlling you, you feel the sensation in your body, and then you really pay attention to it. You really see what the sensation is, and you increase it by level 10. When you increase it by level 10, and now it's there, you can feel the sensation, you start to breathe into it. You are not judging your sensation, you're not judging yourself, you're not trying to rationalize the idea, let me just switch the thought. That's all in the mind. In the body, you listen to the sensation, you feel the sensation, you do the breath work, you breathe into it. Maybe you want to move, maybe you feel like crying, maybe you want to scream, maybe you want to put your mouth in the pillow and really scream out loud. Whatever you feel called to do to release it, you release it until there is no sensation. If that sensation is also tied to another part of your body, you might start feeling sensation there, and you do the same thing again. But what you really want to do is you want to release it from your body once and for all. It may come back again, which means you do releasing again. It sometimes happens with people as they start doing this work, more and more things come up, and what you do is with a lot of love and compassion and no judgment for yourself, you just keep releasing it, and you start to experience breakthrough, because what you're doing is you're regulating your nervous system. You're untangling your nervous system where it wasn't able to hold what you truly desire, and the patterns and programs were getting in the way. And now your operating system is opening up to hold what your desire is. You do that, and then you take on new identity. Now, the result that you desire, there are only few tweaks to your identity that you want to make to receive that. And the few tweaks that you want to make in your identity are, what is that version of you who has already manifested what you want? How is that version, and how are you different? Now that your self-image is fertile because you've just released the old one, you can plant a new one, and you can choose the identity aspects that you want to take on and you want to embody. You take on these identities. So I'll give you my example. When I wanted to land big partnership with the tech giants and have successful meetings with executives, there are few identity tweaks that I took. The one was, there is a huge demand for what I do. And the way I embodied that identity was, I said, how would I be if that was true? How would I think? How would I feel? How would I behave? The way I would think is, I would confidently see my work as very valuable. I will believe in that. I will see the value. I will feel like I am worth it. I am worthy to position my work. I'm worthy to talk to people. I would feel that, and then I would show up with 100% confidence, right? With full audacity. So, and I also decided to see, because my reticular activating system, which is a filter in your mind, which works in alignment with your beliefs, and anything that is against your belief, it just cancels that. You don't even see it. I started to see opportunities. I started to bump into people who were looking for our work. I started to notice the conversations. I started to end up in those kind of events where that thing was required. Everything in my outside started to change so that I could attract what I was believing from the inside. And then the other identity tweak that I made was that I'm really good at it. I started to position my work very powerfully. I started to feel different. I started to think different. I confidently went and said, signing up for our work is the greatest deal for them. They are doing themselves a favor. And my energy shifted. I wasn't in that needy energy anymore. And I started to attract people who started asking us, how can we work with you? What is the partnership model looks like? How would it actually work? So we started attracting those kind of people. The other tweak that I made was that our work is hugely required to make the transformation happen. And then we were approached by a lot of big tech companies who were the leaders in the market because our identity was that our work is required. So you can start to take on few identities, but don't take them as an affirmation. Take them from the place of embodiment. How would you think? How would you behave? How would you feel if that was true? And when you start doing that, you will start to become a match for attracting those things. And that's when you'll become a walking, talking magnet for that. And then you start to act in alignment with that identity. You start to attract in alignment. Your actions are controlled by autopilot from that identity, and your attraction is controlled on autopilot from that identity. So all your job is to put in the right identity, and you see everything works in alignment, and you start to experience results that we once thought were truly impossible, and the floodgates of wealth start to open for you. So the biggest skill that you want to master for law of attraction to work for you is identity, because law of attraction is working all the time. It doesn't stop. It's working 24/7. You don't have to make sure it's working. You have to make sure that your identity is aligned to what you desire.